going on, guys? This is JClarkTheJUMPER here, and I'm going to be doing a Q&A, answering some of your questions that you guys have asked for me. So yeah, let's just get started. Alicia asks, when did you start dunking? I personally started dunking when I was about 15, 16 years old, when I got my first dunk. Little two-hander in the park, nobody was around. It was a really good feeling, and then from there I kind of really had a passion. I've always enjoyed jumping, but at the time I wasn't playing basketball. I was focusing on track and field, specifically high jump and triple jump, so my dunk story kind of didn't really blossom or take off after my first dunk. My pro dunking kind of really blossomed when I was 23, when I got my first East Bay, which is a little late in the game, but better late than never. Since then, I've kind of just, pushed the pace on, what's next, what can I do, what other dunks can be done, and really haven't looked back since. Tyler Collins wants to know, when is the next dunk league? Tyler, I'm in the same boat with you. I want to know when the next dunk league is. Hopefully, it's in a few months, so I have some time to recover, get my knee right, but just know I'll be ready for anything that comes. Crowd sight, can I dunk by increasing weight training, and what kind of exercises do you recommend? I definitely think weight training is a great way to help improve your vertical leap and become a better dunker overall. It's not just by going in the weight room you're automatically going to increase your vert. It's training smart, as well as training hard. So it's not just going in there and squatting because you see me squatting. I would definitely recommend getting a strength coach, especially for younger athletes, to really just learn the proper technique of training. Really getting somebody who knows what they're doing and can guide you along. If that's not feasible, if that's not an option, I would look into Airstrike. I'll put the link in the bio so you guys can check it out, and you can talk to John Evans, who is one of the best in the game, as long as myself kind of giving you advice like that. But in terms of giving all the gyms out, I'll say, in terms of exercise, I recommend complex movements, squats, deadlifts, power cleans are definitely up there in the ranks. Definitely looking and focusing on posterior chain, back, butt, hammies, things of that nature, and just really do your research. What really got me into becoming one of the best jumpers in the world is really wanting to learn what it takes to jump high, and doing the research and getting that information for myself and finding out what works best for me, not just what works best in general, because there's a lot of information out there. So all right, how many oranges did I eat total at dunk camp?
Josh, you won't.
You said I won't?
You won't.
The ones that I got on footage, I think I got 4 or 5, but there was probably more that I didn't even catch. So Spider, I don't know. If you guys really want to know, you guys gotta follow that man, follow the dunk camp, check it out. It's gonna be one of the craziest events next year, as it has been already for the past 2 years. How flexible do I need to be to get the most out of my vertical leap? You need to be as flexible as you need to be to get the most out of your vertical leap. That's the weakest answer that I could possibly give, but to be honest, everybody's body is different, and it's so hard seeing people make these concrete statements on you need this to do that, or your body needs this to do that. And there is some truth to all of that. I mean, when you go back to the old school plyometrics, you need to be able to squat, twice your body weight for safety reasons and stuff like that. I understand it. However, everybody's body functions completely different, so the needs are going to be different compared to the next person. So don't always assume, what's best for, JClarkTheJUMPER is going to be what's best for you. What's best for Jordan Kilgannon, Isaiah Rivera, Steven Selly. Everybody's body operates differently. Everybody has different structure, they don't have different structures. Everybody's structures function differently, and if I'm getting too confusing with it, just ignore me and just know that everybody's different and everybody's needs are going to be different. So find out what works best for you. That's the best thing. Personalize it for yourself. I know, Lou. How do you manage lifting, jumping, and rest? Well, right now, the best way I manage it is resting, because I am injured. I tore the meniscus, but when I'm healthy, just listening to my body, understanding when I'm gonna just skip that question. All right, man, this guy, Sexual Marxism, has like 1,000 questions, but I'm gonna try to get them all out for him. How much vert can I gain if I train my core, lower back, ham, glutes, and shoulders for the first time? My jumping is 28 to 33. I tell my students this all the time now. No naked numbers. 28 to 33. What unit of measurement are we going here? I'm assuming you mean inches. But all of those things are kind of staples in vertical leap training. Your posterior train and things like that are always going to be big and good for vert training. I can't, confirm or deny you're going to gain this amount of inches. It just doesn't exist. I hate to be the one to say it, but I see it a lot on YouTube, and it will never be in my channel. If you do this, you'll gain that. I have been a little clickbaity in the past with some of the captions, but a lot of times it's the clickbait that gets you in, and if I can, hit you with some hard truths, that's what I'm going to do. But if you train that, you will improve there's a high chance that you will improve your vertical leap. How much you will improve, I don't know. I'm so sorry. Can 50 squats with one leg will work my vertical?
What?
Can 50 squats with one leg will work my vertical? Can doing 50 squats with one leg help work on my vertical? I'm assuming that's what you mean. Yeah, it can. It could not. So it's really hard to say. It's not so much what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. Are you doing 50 straight through? I wouldn't recommend that. I would definitely break it up throughout your sets. With vertical leap training, you want to focus on quality movements, not quantity. It's not doing a million reps. It's about doing, 10 reps to the best of your ability, better than doing a million crappy reps. At what age did you realize you can jump so high, or was it like a goal? I really don't know when that realization was. I've always had a passion for jumping, and I've always trained my jumping. So I never stopped training. I wasn't the best when I started. By my junior year, I was pretty good, and I knew I was pretty good at jumping, but I didn't feel like I was the best because it was me, if that makes any sense. Probably a few years ago when I realized I'm one of the best, dunkers in the world and one of the best jumpers in the world, just because, I was at the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning lifting ridiculous amounts of weights and pushing my body to a level that I know most humans don't go. The realization set in that I could kind of say I'm one of the best in the world because I had earned it. But it's me, if that makes any sense. So it's not one of those things where I walk around and gloat. I'm still gonna be me. I still train. Like I want to, jump higher and want to push myself even further until I can't jump anymore. What's the fastest way to see vert gain in an intermediate plateau? The fastest way to see vert gain in an intermediate plateau, I would say just switching up your training, depending on whatever you're doing. Are you training the exact same way? A lot of times when you get plateaus, it's because there's some, there's no change in your training. You're doing the same thing over, so there's no more adaptation to that training. Training, you're pretty much stressing your body in a way that it's not expecting, so it has to overcome that stress somehow. And if you're doing it perfectly, you're stressing it enough for it to grow, but at the same time not be accustomed to that stress. If there's plateaus, typically it's already accustomed to it. You've been doing the same thing over and over, and it knows it, and it's getting used to that. So I would definitely find out what you're doing or not doing, and just change up your training a little bit. Try something different to see if that helps. How long would it take to add 13 inches to my 27-inch vert? Once again, sexual Marxism. I don't know. There's no, it's going to take 2 weeks to gain 13 inches. If people are promising you that, just ignore that programming. I hate to say it. I hate to be the hater of someone else's programming, but you can't, there's no way to, guarantee X amount of vert in X amount of time, because you don't know how people are going to respond to training, what's going to happen. There's so many things that can happen in training. It's hard. You want to put your body in the best position and hope for the best, but you can't say, oh, in 2 weeks I'm going to gain 13 inches. But typically, depending on your age and other factors, if you're really young, that can be a couple of years to a year to maybe even 6 months if you have a growth spurt or something like that. But this past year for me, I gained 2 inches of vert, and when I mean 2 inches, I mean from dunk camp, I went from 46, a max vert, a running vert of 46 inches.
Easy! The whole thing! Okay! All of it.
To a max vert of 48 inches. And I think I could get a little bit higher, but in a year, I, kill myself. I train as hard as I can and do everything that I can the right way. Eat right, do everything right, and it's 2 inches. So it's definitely a long process, and it's not one of those things where it happens overnight for most people. All right, Luto Vero, what subject do you teach in school? I am an 8th grade science teacher at Granite Ridge Intermediate. Go Broncos. I think that's all of them that I'm going to answer today. This was actually kind of fun. I really want to do this again. Make sure that you guys, comment below with questions or things that you want me to talk about, topics and things like that. I'm thinking about bringing back the animations. I had some fun with those, even though they take forever to do. Look out for, my meniscus blog recovery, and that's all I have for you guys. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. Check out all of my other socials at JClarkTheJUMPER.
What?
Please check out all of my other socials at JClarkTheJUMPER. Check out my website at JClarkTheJUMPER.com. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.